Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Natalie Rose, and today we're going to delve into the first part of my three-part series on the digestion. I'm a qualified nutritionist and really love women's health. So nutrition is really the first foundation when it comes to our overall health and well-being. There are a lot of chemical components and mechanical actions that make up the digestive system. Today, we're going to delve into three main parts and three things that we can do to support our bodies. So really, I'm preparing my body for menopause, the step before, the perimenopause phase. So whatever phase you are in, we can use daily nutrition to support our cell renewal, our cell growth, and cell repair. So in the basics of nutrition, we want to look at our dental health, we want to look at our gut health, and then our stress management. There are a lot of hormones at play when it comes to absorbing our food, digestion, and elimination to get the best out of our daily practices. In part one, we delve into the actual mechanical and chemical side of digestion. If you want to tap into some of the pain points and natural solutions, you can join me in my free 3-day masterclass looking at the inner beauty of women's health. So there are chemical messages that are actually starting to happen when we see food. So we break down a larger macronutrient with our teeth. So making sure that we have optimal dental health and gum health is actually the first part of digestion. Then we break it down and it goes down through the esophagus into a bolus or a mushed up form of the former dish that we're eating. It goes into the stomach where it is actually chemically broken down into smaller parts. So that's really our first part of our digestion. So you may have symptoms of perhaps heartburn or indigestion. So that is really one of our first phases of the digestive system. It is mechanical and chemical. Then we delve deeper down into the small intestine where we have our liver producing bile. Within that bile, we can break down some of the fats. And so it is very important to make sure that we look after the other organs in the digestive system. So our body is like a donut. Our gut lining is our first line of defense, like our skin. Our body's actually hollow from our mouth all the way down to the other end is hollow. So we have little sphincters along the way to make sure that our food or prior food is digested into smaller little particles and then absorbed. So in our small intestines, the food is broken down and it's gone through a chemical process to go even into the smallest, like amino acids, fatty acids, and into glucose little molecules that we use for energy and repairing our body. And this is where we really need to look at the body on a cellular level and make sure that our body is not just breaking it down efficiently, but then absorbing our food efficiently in our small intestines. So if you have any endocrine disruptions, which actually make these chemicals, it can prevent the food from being absorbed into the body, into our cells. So from there, it goes into our bloodstream, and then we can use it as energy, except for our fat. Our fat actually goes through our lymphatic system and then through into the liver. So our liver is something that we really want to nurture through the digestive system. There are a few different organs in our digestive system. So making sure that we are taking it step by step when we are looking at any nutritional changes of how are those organs actually functioning efficiently. Then we go down into the bowel. So when we talk about our colon, this is where all the elimination happens. I always like to think of it a little bit like a washing machine. So our body is about 60% water, and it is being filtered continuously throughout the day. So we ensure that there's a balance of good and bad bacteria. So we need both. We need a combination, and it's when they become out of balance that we say we have dysbiosis. So the good and bad bacteria. Perhaps you've been on antibiotics, so we've killed off some of the good and bad bacteria in that process, and we need to make sure we restore that balance. Or perhaps we could be eating too much sugar, and the sugar can feed the bad bacteria, and we can get an overgrowth of bad gut bacteria in our gut, which we can often feel a bloating sensation when the byproduct of the bacteria are out of whack. So we want to create harmony within those three parts. A lot of the metabolic hormones, everything from cortisol, insulin levels, and estrogen levels, can really play a big part in our inner health. So when our inner health is out of balance, we can often see signs and symptoms on the outside. So we want to make sure that we're addressing both sides when it comes to our health. Probably the biggest thing is we may see a rash, or hair may be falling out, brittle nails, or even dryness. We can have dry lips. So I'm celiac, and with celiac, I used to have extremely bad acne, to the point that I wouldn't even go outside. I would definitely not put makeup on or something on my skin. And I was given a lot of medications and tried everything, but it wasn't until I shifted to natural solutions and looking at my nutritional impact that comes with it. We just need to give it the right environment. So if your external body is giving you signs and symptoms, definitely, nurture the skin. Our skin is our first line of defense. So it will actually reflect the external environment and the internal. So digging a little bit deeper, if you're feeling really frustrated with dry hair, my hair was falling out and now it's actually coming back. I'm nurturing it with, for one, looking at what is on my plate. Do I have a balanced diet? Protein is the building blocks of our body. It's the building blocks of our hair. It's the building blocks of our skin, the building blocks of our immune system, and actually the building blocks of our hormones. So while our body is going through some massive changes, we can support it just through eating enough protein, whole foods. We can supplement some of those, which you'll see a lot of collagen supplements out there, and I'll delve into that in another video. Collagen is the elasticity side. So as we get older, we naturally biologically see the signs. So on our outside skin, the internal, remember I said our body's a donut. So whatever's happening on the outside can actually reflect on the inside. And when we're trying to make time to create some healthy meals, we may actually skip the quality and quantity amount of protein needed to our bodies to function efficiently. As I said, our skin is made up of protein, our digestive lining, our muscle mass. And in perimenopause, the common signs are dry skin, perhaps even excess hair or hair falling out. So our hormones are changing. And our energy levels, it is our muscle mass that actually, when we move our muscles, that produce energy. So if we're not eating enough protein, we can definitely see the signs of, now it's malnutrition. If you're over or under eating, it's malnutrition. Upset stomach for quite a few months there, that my body wasn't absorbing the protein. You could actually see the ridges in my toenails and not the ridges that go down, but the ridges that go along. So looking for little signs. It's not about striving for perfection. It's about looking at small indicators that you may band-aid out, perhaps with wearing your hair differently or chopping your hair to suit the style that is it in. So when I chop my hair a little bit shorter, it looks a bit thicker, but when you actually pop it in a ponytail, it had thinned half the way down. Whereas our mood can be a little bit more long term. So it could be a week, 8 weeks. It could be things like grief. It could be things like excited. When you're starting something new, you can use a lot of energy to build that momentum. There are particular foods like serotonin or dopamine that we can use through our foods that may be creating an imbalance in the digestive system. So we can definitely do a journal and look at how our mood is feeling, holding affirmations to really anchor a positive mindset. You don't quite feel yourself. So it's not just a day where you feel tired. It could be, it's a bit of a roller coaster. If you talk to anyone who's been through perimenopause, it is the periods before menopause where your hormones are not like they used to be. The hormones that are in charge can really affect your mood. So you can create the perfect storm when there are external stresses, and then you have these wave of hormonal changes, and it's all happening within your mind. But knowing that there are 3 components, it is really, yes, your mood, like what are the stresses and triggers and emotional things that you are doing each day, but there are also the chemical hormones that are changing. It's something you really don't have a lot of control over. We are all going to go through the biological changes of aging, but there are some things that you can do in this phase that will really help support you emotionally each day. Mindful practicing, looking at our foods, journaling. Any questions, I hold a live masterclass where we're going to delve deeper into the topics of women's health and menopause. So with menopause, it could be perimenopause, postmenopause, just celebrating women and women's health, looking at some of the natural foundations that you can adapt into our daily life, sharing some of the tips, traps, slowing down to something that's sustainable that you're going to get real results. You can find me through my Instagram page or through my blog. So feel free to contact me through an email or drop a comment below. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.